check it out. So I got me another RC. I found this guy on Kijiji. Local guy here in Calgary. Made a trade with him. I'm pretty happy. I got a fair amount of work I want to do to this thing today. What I want to go over, as you may have judged by the title as I'm thinking about it now, Molly. No, the title's not Molly, although I'm sure that would get lots of views. So you're looking at a RC 4-wheel drive D110. It's basically the RTR stock unit. The gentleman got to keep his receiver and controller. That's going to get passed on to another family member of his. That's fantastic. What I'm going to do is what I think everybody should do every time they get a brand new rig, whether it's used or not. Stop doing that. Whether it's used or not, every time you get a new RC, I'm going to go over all the things that I do. Because I think the last time I went over this is when Rookie helped me build the chassis for the Toyota Trailfinder 2. And so that's been a while. So I'm gonna, actually, before I start, 1 second here. We'll see how much this guy weighs. So right now, before I do any of the stuff to it that I plan on doing, 7 pounds, 1.8 ounces. Do we call that 2? 7.2 ounces, or 7 pounds, 2 ounces. A little baby. All right, I should almost write that down, but it's on video, right? All right, give me a second to open this up. So, electronic wise, I think I'm gonna let her go as is for now. No receiver, so I'm gonna put one in. It's going to be the FlySky. From the GT5, I can't remember the name of the receiver. I gotta change this to a Dean's. It's 45 turn stock motor, stock servo. He's upgraded the tires, and they are nice. They are a Goodyear Wrangler, it says. 42 inch on a 16 inch wide on a 19 inch tire. MT/R. RC 4-wheel drive. They're real nice. He's got 2 running forwards and 2 running backwards. Or does he? I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. That's okay. Maybe I'll leave him. Looks like stock drive shafts. Does have the upgraded bumper. Shocks feel pretty oilless, but that's okay in my world. I don't really care. What else? I'm going to put a winch on it. Okay, that's about it for the overview of it. Oh, it's got 4-link, or does it? 4-link on the rear, 3-link on the front, it looks like. I'm going to put a light kit in it. I'm going to try and figure out how to get a driver in it. But the maintenance stuff, I'll go over there. I'll do that first, and then we'll talk upgrades later. So what I believe everyone should do, and what I'm about to do, every time you get a new or used vehicle, what you should do is crack this guy open. Both diffs, the transmission, and the transfer case are all getting opened up, and they're going to get marine greased. Myself personally, I run the Dynamite. Also says Horizon Hobby on the back of it there. But just good old-fashioned marine grease. You can get it with or without this thing. I find it handy, so I've had that for a long time. But that's about it for yakking. I'm going to open it up and then show you guys what I'm talking about, because I guess don't trust anyone. Not that anything that I open this up and find anything bad inside, or not bad, it's just that this thing, it is used, but gently used. Not too bad. And I don't have to get the plate. That's nice. Because usually with the Trailfinder 2s, I have leaf sprung ones. And he changed to the Boom Racing plate, but this guy's got the links on it, so I don't have to change the plate, which is nice. But yeah, anything that I find inside, I don't think I'm going to find any issues with it, actually, come to think of it, because he did add a NIM charger and some NIM batteries for it. And so I think that's called a Molex plug, or a Tamiya plug, some people call it. So I don't think there's going to be much for wear and tear on the insides of this thing. All the gears should look good. Bearings are tight everywhere. Everything's nice. All right, give me a couple of minutes here. I'm gonna crack some stuff open. Okay, you should be able to tell. This guy looked after his truck pretty good. You can tell she's greased up in there already. Everything rolls just beautifully. But I am who I am. Nice little gathering on the gears, and then I do a whole bunch around the bearings. There's my thumb. and that all that stuff in the ring gear will eventually mesh. Oop, with that guy in there. I know a lot of guys go out and they'll get the beveled gear set for these guys, but I don't think I've ever bought a set myself. Yeah, I've always done this at the beginning when I get a vehicle, and my stuff lasts a long time, especially my RC4L drive rigs. And it has to do with your driving as well, right? Because I am not a crazy driver when it comes to my RC4L drive rigs or any hard body rig at all. I would rather take it nice and slow, don't snap parts. So I drive all the ones I've had before in two cell, usually with a 27 or a 35 turn axial motor, or sometimes a DeWalt motor. Anywhere between 9 and 13 tooth, depending on the turn of the motor. Like the Jeep's got I think a 27 in it with a 9 tooth, and it's pretty much walking speed wide open in 2-cell. And I know some of you guys are probably already typing in the comments, which I appreciate, about two things. One, should I not be doing a kitty corner thing on this? Nah, I don't really care. It's soft aluminum. It's going to flatten right back out if I do over torque one side. And number two, I should be using Loctite. I usually do on everything. This is about the only thing I don't, because when you strip out these screws, it's so aggravating. And I don't care. Even if I lose 3 or 4 out of the diff before I notice, that plane ain't gonna move. And I can always put more screws in later. I've never had to. You can look at I could grab the other rigs there, and they don't, none of them would be missing a screw, I'm betting. But these are the only ones in the truck that I do not put Loctite on, just because I want to be able to get them out again later. Okay, let me plug away on this, and I'm going to get this back together, get the front one apart, do the same, or get the rear apart, do the same thing to it, and then the transmission and T-case. I've never owned one of these before, so I thought this was kind of cool. So off the T-case, I was just removing it. It's got the rear shaft that goes straight out, and then I think I would call that a hanger bearing in the old real life world, possibly something, or a carrier bearing maybe, something like that. Anywho, then down to the short rear shaft to the rear axle, because that's some long ass suspension in there. And there's inside the T-case. Hopefully there's enough light on that there for you guys, but that's a respectable amount of grease. I don't know what kind that is, but again, this guy looks like he looked after his rigs. All right, so plugging along, I'm just putting the screws back into the transmission. It looked maybe slightly drier than the rest of them, but it was still wet with grease, but I filled her up with the good old marine grease. There's just like a half a drop of Loctite on these as they're going back in. And the screws are 2 different sizes, so keep an eye out for that when you're dropping them around like I am. Luckily, that's the last one. 2 small ones, 2 big ones, keep an eye on that. And one of the reasons I turned on the camera is when I opened this up, or when I pulled it off the truck, you can just see through that spring on that slipper. We'll take care of that right now. Tighten that down a lot. There we go. So I apparently soldered on a Dean's really poorly. That just came off when I went to remove the battery after testing the winch, which works, which is fantastic. That's off, yep. So I was just gonna waterproof up the receiver and leave it in the box there, the stock box. Figured it's gonna be okay. I don't have enough of the gasket. It comes off a roll. So when I first got this many years ago, it was about yay big roll. And they're like between $5 and $15, depending on where you get it. And you just peel it off. Remember, it's dielectric or non-dielectric. I forget which way to say that properly. But it waterproof your anything. I'm doing up a receiver here right now. Sometimes I decase them, sometimes I don't. These Fly Skies are super small. I think they're pretty small anyways. So I'm not gonna decase it. I'll just go right around the case. And it's cheap. And the nice thing about this stuff is it stays malleable forever. It doesn't get hard. So anytime Like right now, if I wanted to, I can just pull all these wires out. And then the gum will just stretch out. So that looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to show you guys, but yeah, it's just an icky ball of gunk. Normally I'd say, never use a drill on plastic, you'll strip it. But it's the receiver box that I don't care about. And I'm highly experienced. Alright, all that should work. I gotta go resolder that because I suck. Alright, trucking along, as it were. The chassis is on the floor here. The electronics are all done up in the sense of it's working. Time to drill some holes. So this is the roll bar that was on my old D90 that got ran over down in the old Beaver. I always held on to it, thinking I might need it again someday. Some good plastic. Great. Oh yeah. It's nice Maya stainless steel screws. So if you guys were ever thinking about getting one of these roll bars and worried about the install, don't worry about it. If I can do this kind of stuff, anyone can. Roll bar installed. Alright guys, I didn't fix the tires. I'm going to do that another day. Took me hours to do this. But I got the winch installed. I had to pull the bumper off and put it back on. Waterproof everything. I waterproofed the receiver. I made my own light kit. I may have to change that servo. It seems pretty weak. It can't even turn the tires while I'm sitting here. Yeah, I'm going to have to change out that servo. But the winch works. It's supposed to be one of those free spooling ones, but I don't know how to work it. Yeah, alright. So she's good to go. I will trail this like this. She's waterproof. I got it on 2-cell. I got the roll cage in there, winch controller, light kit. There's 2 batteries in there, a little 3-cell for the lights, and then the 2-cell for operating the truck. The tires just tuck, which is beautiful. And I went off-white with the lights instead of doing a full bright white. Eventually I'm going to put a roof rack up here, and the roof rack will probably have lights as well. The only other part is the interior, because it doesn't have one. Eventually Captain's going to go in here. Eventually, sometime later. And Mini Molly. So she needs something to stand on in there. We'll get Captain in there, maybe get a floor in there of some kind. I may need to get some help because I am not a fabricator. This is about as much as I can do and want to do. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Wheelbase. Some people might want to know. Yeah. 13, maybe a 13 and a bit. Yeah, 13 inches, let's call it. Yeah, so it's got the mud flaps on it. They're rubber. Hopefully they last. A little bit of stuff on the back. It's got the, well, maybe we'll get rid of the for sale sign because I don't want people asking about that. Ignore the for sale sign. That's not real. I got my little tail lights in there. Yeah, she's a good looking little rig. Gas can. I think that's staying on there. I think it works too. Yeah, I gotta do something about that servo. Alright, that's gonna be about it for now, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. A couple more upgrades to go, but she's drivable, and that's what I was hoping to do today. And I know I told you I was going to do the Tetra with the knuckles. That was a complete lie, because I got this. I can just get my girly hand through the window and pull that out, which is pretty awesome. Actually, technically just did the ending of the video, but I forgot something. So at the beginning, pretty sure I said it was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. So now, no battery in there. The light bat is not in there either. With the upgrade of the roll bar, the winch controller, changed the plug, added the lights, added some grease. She's now 7 pounds, 10 ounces. So I added 8 ounces worth of stuff. And there's more to come. All right, thanks for watching.